Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program playthrough. My name's Negative Root and I'm doing something very silly. So let's get cracking and see if we can land this sucker. Basically, we need to return something to Kerbin that has flown by Minmus. Now that's all well and good because I took out my second lander and I packed some science this time. You can see the... Actually, let's have a look here. Oh, it's not too bad actually. It's not too hot in there. Basically, we now need to return this, and I didn't pack a parachute, so that was a massive oversight. This would be easy with a parachute, obviously coming in engine first to see if I can absorb some of the heat. She's getting a bit toasty, but so far I haven't lost anything, so that's great news. Now, here's the big thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to use the suicide burn. And I'm also going to see if I can judge it right. Now the problem though is going to be, oh, so you can see our batteries are glowing. The problem is going to be, do I have enough delta V? That is the issue, right? So I'm going to bring up my fuel. Luckily I'm going to be able to control this thing down to the ground. Now distance, okay, so we can see that our delta V required to pull this thing up is falling, and we're going to have to hit this thing right on the nose. You can see that right now as we get down and further into the thicker atmosphere, we're going to basically we're going to lose our thrust. Now let's see if we can deploy the landing legs. Hopefully they give us a little bit more drag. Right now we need everything we got. Oh, extend the commutatron. That'll give us more drag. Yeah, not. Oh, why didn't you stay extended? Whatever. Okay, so basically what we're going to do in 3,000 meters is we're going to burn as hard as we can, and we're going to hope that this number is lower than that number. But I'm not hopeful. So we've still got 2,000 meters before we start the burn. Right now I'm just keeping it pointed on the retrograde marker. Luckily the air is going to null out our horizontal velocity. You can see that's pretty much nothing currently. So we've got 300. Oh, this is going to be so close. Now we need the burn, we need the burn, we need the burn. Are we going to get it? Well, actually we're a little bit early by the looks of it. Give it everything you got, Scotty. If we don't... Oh, we crashed. Oh, yes, but we got it. Oh, we got the probe. We did it. A return trip from Minmus. Is this mission log right? Incredible. Without a parachute and everything. Pro tip, take a parachute. Anyway. So let's recover the vessel, because that's really good. And we're going to move on to the next mission, which I'm hoping is land on Minmus. The game has sent me a couple of curveballs. So recover a vessel returned from orbit around Minmus, 20 science, excellent. And we've got some parts as well, so that's all well and good. Let's have a look. Science started from a space around the moon. Dang it. And I dare say that they're going to want us to return this thing. So we'll accept it, okay, under protest we'll accept it, and I'll have a quick look actually, see if there's anything else we want in here. So we've got some parts, we've got some rocket parts, we've got some, ooh, fuel ducts might be handy, we've got hitchhiker storage, the barometer, some random building parts that don't make much sense, small control wheel, that might be handy. What if I did this, I'll grab this, and then, ooh, do I want any of these others? Oh, making a small jet would be nice. But no, we'll grab this. Okay, so we've got inline reaction, the R8 winglet that I use a lot of, and also the barometer. So this is very handy. And it will be for when we do a full up manned moon mission. So we need to dispatch one of our moonlanders, get it out to the moon, and then I dare say get it back. So I want to load the moonlander And this is a very, very handy little rocket. Like, I am stoked with how good this thing's going. Utility, parachute. We'll make things easier on ourselves this time. Science, thermometer. Okay, we'll grab 3 of them because, you know, whatever. Grab a communitron. We'll only grab 1 of them, and we're good. Yeah, we're good. Save. Right, let's. This is the Moonlander 3. Let's get it going. Rightio, where is the moon? There it is. So what we need to do, okay, just wait a little bit. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to catch up slowly. Okay, we'll go about there. Right, I know I'm launching at night and I'm sorry for that, but what I'm going to try and do is just reduce a little bit of the time this is going to take. So I want to get this done because I'm thinking that this is going to turn into a return it to Kerbin kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this thing up on a free return trajectory so that we can come back nice and easy. And with this parachute along, we should have a much easier time of landing. I probably won't have to cheat this time, or at least I hope not anyway. Okay, so we'll just keep that thruster weight around 1.7. Keep the push nice and easy. We need to pick up the turn rate a little bit more though. Back that off. Come on, pick up the turn. Alright, we're about to lose solid boosters. There they go, throttle up. We'll push the turn rate. I think this rocket flies a little bit nicer on a steeper trajectory. The difference between my 2 Minmus landers was actually about 300, 400 delta V in the end. Because the first one that I launched on camera was really, really nice and it flew beautifully and it actually worked out really well. The second one I did was actually a little bit shitty. I flew a little bit low and I ended up having a whole heap of gravity losses and drag losses. And basically what you want to do is you want to find the balance between the vertical speed and the horizontal speed. Okay, you don't want to be too low, otherwise the horizontal speed just gets bled into the atmosphere. But you don't want to go too high because remember the vertical speed has a minus 9.8 meters per second against it because of gravity. So you want to find that mix between the two. I'm thinking keeping the vertical speed below 400 is where the party is at. So let's push that turn rate a little bit harder so we can get this thing cranked over. And we'll throttle down because that vertical speed is getting up there, and also our time to apoapsis is increasing much faster than I can actually control it. Okay, so we can probably throttle up a little bit more now, because we do want to get out of the atmosphere. We want to find that balance. We don't want to be hanging around. It's not like real life where there's barely any and it doesn't affect your orbit too much. As soon as you start hitting kind of that below 50k mark, it's just really, really big, the drag. So we want to minimize that as much as we can. And has the moon shown up yet? No, it hasn't. Excellent. Is the moon going to show up there? It will. Excellent. So what we'll do, right, is we are going to go for a direct descent to the moon. This is going to be interesting. It's the first time I've ever tried this, so it could end well, could end badly. We'll see. And doing it this way, I'm going to get some really nice efficiency actually out of the rocket. So I'm just going to burn this stage to exhaustion, and then I'm going to move on to the next one and just keep burning. There we go, there's space. Oh, there it is. Quick, prograde. Prograde. Nope, okay. I've got no reaction control. Alrighty-o. So we'll just burn. Oh, we're very nearly going to circularize it on this stage. We will. Excellent. There we go. Keep going. Alrighty, let's go to the map. Okay. Now I said rough free return trajectory, so I'm not going to be able to get it exact because I'm burning this by hand. You can always fiddle around with maneuver nodes. I'm just trying to do this quickly so that I can get out there, complete the mission, and hopefully move on and show you how a return mission should run. Okay, there we go. So that's a rough free return trajectory. We will walk to the sphere of influence change. Actually, we want to walk to... Cannot walk so far. That's a bugger. Can you walk to here? Yes, you can. Ah! Go to there. And what I'll do... Oh, it's locked everything. Bugger. Anyway. So here comes the moon. There's Minmus out there. Because once we click over, what we're going to do is we are going to just get that science data. Alrighty. So we need to get the science data and we need to send it back quick smart. So we've got the log temperature, transmit. Got it. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so let's jump back to the Space Center, see what the next one is. Wonder. Okay, so we'll just cancel a few. Now I'm using a mod that allows hotkey. Aha! Land on Minmus. I knew it. Thank you. I'll accept that. Now, this has been the one I've been waiting for. I'll land on Minmus. Minmus lander. Here we go. It's been parked out here for 50 days, waiting for the moment that has come finally. Now, as with our moon landing, we want to do the same thing, okay? We want to set up our orbit. We want to set up our landing point. Basically, we go opposite to where we want to land. I want to land in this crater here. About there, okay? We're going to go retrograde, set it up so that we've got a nice low approach, and that's actually probably a little bit low, is it? I'm looking for if it intersects. We'll go a little bit higher, just for safety. Now the lovely thing about Minmus is you have greater margin for error. The gravity is lower, ergo you don't have to be as precise. So you can see that I've got 13 meters per second to burn here, which is nothing. Let's just move forward a little bit more. And we'll stop the time warp about there. Okay, we're just going to point retrograde. We'll get rid of that because it's all about where we want it to be. And we will stop the thing here. About 6,000, that's nice. Rightio, so you can see here that I have a thrust to weight up to 229 times the force of gravity here. We are so far overpowered, it's not funny. So what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to right click on my engine, bring up the little GUI, and I'm going to thrust limit this engine so that I can get it down to something a little bit more reasonable. And really something like, what's the lowest setting? 5%. Yeah, that's really all we needed. 12.63. Okay, so if I go to max thrust, okay, we'll be punching out 12 times the force of gravity. Now the thing, well, actually, I've just noticed that we're a little bit cockeyed as well. Nope, that's the wrong way. So I want to bend this orbit up a little bit so that I can get into this area. So you notice that our orbital speed is much, much lower than what it was with the moon. What that means is that it's just everything works a little bit slower. Okay, this is... Right, I'm going to have to aim for this crater here. Alright, so it's actually going to be a little bit after my periapsis, but you know, whatever. And the lovely thing about landing is it is really, really nice and slow. The stronger the gravity, the faster you need to be able to do everything. If you can't move fast enough, you will crash. And that's why the Mun can be challenging at times, because you do have to move quickly. You need to know what you have to do, and you need to instantly pretty much act. Here you can actually think about things because you do have time. You don't have to straight away know that, alright, this is what I need to do to get my my landing. You can play around with it. You can have the opportunity to correct your approach, you know, null out horizontal velocities, do all the fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to stop there, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up dropping down somewhere in this lake area. See how I cross this here? Basically, I'm not actually going to hit this point because that would be impossible. I'm going to stop, rest my horizontal velocity about here, and then drop down to the planet. So let's get ourselves ready. Okay, so the gear is armed, the gear is off, the gear is armed, the gear is off. We're retrograde. We have our panel lock, SAS is engaged. We have 1500 meters per second to get ourselves down. Oh, what's happening? Oh, okay. So this is basically where we're coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin myself around, same thing as the moon, so that my my horizon is horizontal, blue is up, orange, red, brown, whatever you want to call it, is down. I'm going to push this marker up. You can see I've got a horizontal speed of 66 meters per second and a vertical speed of 50. So this is much slower than what it was on the moon. I'm going to drop down into these big flats here. Okay, so the thrust to weight is actually 6.25. So we increase this up to, say, 20. Yeah, whoop! my horizontal velocity vector is getting away from me a little bit there. Now I just want to null out the horizontal to start with, and then I'll work on the vertical. You can see that my horizontal is nearly gone. Oh, I was on the wrong one. So now I'm in the surface mode, what I actually need to be. I've got still 3 kilometers to go before I hit the ground. So you can see how much slower landing is. By this stage in the moon landing, I'd pretty much put it on the dust already. So just forcing that vector up into the middle. And once we get it there, it'll be all good. And see how our horizontal speed is nothing. Okay, so we've got ourselves falling straight down to the ground. Oh, we can't time warp any. Luckily I have ways. Fizz warp, oh yeah. At about 500 meters, call it, we'll hit the gas and just bring our descent under control. Right now we're falling at 45 meters per second. So we'll slow that up, just get ourselves nicely under control. Make sure that our velocity vector isn't going crazy. Okay, we'll deploy the landing legs, and you can see how much slower it is. It's awesome. I love Minmus. If you have a choice, go to Minmus first. It's much easier than the one. Okay, so we've got 300 meters to go. We should be able to see our shadow somewhere. Nope. Just pick up that thrust a little bit, get the surface speed down. Okay, we want to get that velocity vector back here if we can. Okay, and we're just going to float to the ground. I can actually make this a powered landing. That would be nice. And contact light, and we're down. That easy, ladies and gentlemen. Land on Minmus. Booyah. 200 grand. Yeah. So it's that easy, and as I said, Minmus is much easier than the Mun. I wish that the developers had sent us to Minmus first, but anyway, we're here now, so we'll enjoy the sights, the sounds, the sun, Kerbin, and yeah, I'll see you in the next episode where we tackle the next mission.